protect the air, the water, the fish, the birds, ourselves, our neighbours.
We're fighting for the country, but the country doesn't realise that.
We're not going to lose. It's not an option. It's just not an option.
Our time is Shell's money, and we have lots and lots of time.
Their currency is money. That's currency, but ours is a different currency altogether. We have safety and values and tradition.
A consortium of multinationals led by Shell is proposing to build an experimental gas pipeline and processing plant in northwest Ireland. The pipeline would transport raw gas at very high pressure from an undersea wellhead 70 kilometres off the coast into Broadhaven Bay, up an unspoilt estuary and on to a gas terminal to be processed. The project would affect a sensitive local landscape containing 3 special areas of conservation, including Carramore Lake, which provides most of the local drinking water. The proposed pipeline, containing an explosive mix of chemical compounds, would run over unstable bogland very near to people's homes through an area known for landslides. There is no guarantee against corrosion causing leaks and ruptures. In the event of a rupture, gas escaping at such high pressure could ignite within seconds, which would be fatal. The refinery would release the greenhouse gases carbon dioxide and methane, along with other pollutants, including lead and sulphur. People fear that exposure to such pollutants would compromise their health in the long term. The wild winds and rains characteristic of the area would ensure that contamination was widespread. Broadhaven Bay could be polluted by waste products from the treatment process, endangering the whales, dolphins, otters and seals that feed and forage there, as well as many species of seabird. Contamination of the bay would also affect the local fishing industry.
The Corrib gas pipeline, which is 20 inches in diameter,
20, big pipe.
Comes ashore.
It can go here.
It can go right here?
Right here, where we are now.
And comes up across into the terminal at this point here. The first process that the gas goes through is it enters the slug catcher, which removes all liquids. The gas continues along and is dried and subsequently repressurized and sent to market via the fiscal meter, which is back here again at this end. All the other pieces of equipment that you see here in the plant support that operation.
Somebody from Nigeria came, I forget now who he was, and he said, if you lose the battle out here in the Niger Delta, he said, we lose as well. So we can't afford for you to lose. Which I suppose was a great boost to us. Realise that you were linked up with Nigeria. But we are closer now than what we really think.
They're the same type of people. Their livelihood was the same, farming and fishing, and living in communities. We Well, we call ourselves the Bogoni because we live in an area of blanket bog, and it's in empathy with the Ogoni.
I have great respect and great interest in a delta environment and got to know it very well when I was studying the Ogoni issue. And then when I went to Rossport, I discovered I was dealing with a bog habitat, and they're both very fragile ecosystems, and water is a great commonality between the two.
Now, the way it was, obviously growing up as a child, I saw Shell come to my mother's land, and then they would put their pipes into my mother's farm. And then you find, then there'll be a little, like a town crier, go around the little village and say if you had your land with a pipe put in the land, come round to the town square and you'll be paid some money. And I have no idea how much it was. They may have given to my mom. And then obviously that land becomes useless because you cannot access it anymore.
We're not for sale. That's what I always say. Shell are supposed to have a lot of money, but they haven't got enough money to buy us.
We don't value our safety and our health in money terms.
Money doesn't mean anything to us because we never had money as such. That's the way we struggle through life to bring up kids and everything without money.
What compensation will compensate people for their health and their safety? There is nothing that would compensate them for that, or the generations after us.
It's not on. It's not deal time.
In 2005, Shell applied for an injunction from the Irish High Court to prevent local people from interfering with work on the proposed pipeline. This, in effect, denied people access to their own land. Out of many people who broke the injunction, 5 were taken to court and indefinitely detained. Following a concerted public campaign, the men were finally released after 94 days.